It's the first Tuesday in November, and many USC students are voting for the first time. We spoke to students about which issues they feel most strongly about.
The presidential election is leaving some with anxiety about the future. An expert weighs in on how to deal with it.
And after a tough 9-game start, Coach Lincoln Riley is making a big change. Hear about what Riley says about the state of his quarterbacks.
Annenberg TV News is next.
The campaigning is finally over and election day is here. Millions of Americans headed to the polls to cast their vote for the next president of the United States. Election results are rolling in as the polls continue to close. Hi, I'm Kofa Jalaosho.
And I'm Brian Saravia. Election reporter Peyton May joins us live here in studio to break down some of the early results. Peyton?
That's right. About 1/3 of polls across the country have closed, and each candidate has added votes to their electoral count. Let's take a look at our map as it currently stands. As you can see, Vice President Kamala Harris has earned 35 electoral votes, while former President Donald Trump has earned 95. As a reminder, each candidate is hoping to get to 270 electoral votes in order to secure the presidency. Let's take a closer look at 7 of those swing states that are going to be decisive in this year's election. Taking a look now at Georgia, we have 52% of the vote reported in thus far. Kamala Harris is currently trailing Donald Trump 44% to 55%, but we are still looking for more votes as the night continues. Let's head now to North Carolina, where only 13% of our state's votes have been reported in. We are neck and neck with these current votes. Vice President Kamala Harris at 49% against former President Donald Trump's 49%. The night is still early, and these numbers are still too early to call. Next, let's take a look at the state of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has 19 electoral votes and is going to be really critical in helping each candidate on their path to the presidency. With only 8% of today's votes reported in, Kamala Harris is currently leading Donald Trump 72% to 27%. The night is still young and these races are still way too early to call. Make sure you stay updated with Annenberg Media as we bring you election coverage throughout the night. I'm Peyton May.
Thank you, Peyton. Many USC students at the voting center in University Village are voting for the first time. We talked to several who said abortion rights and the wars in Gaza and Ukraine are the most important issues to them.
Probably the overturning of Roe v. Wade. I knew that, with the next election coming up, I wanted to make sure that reproductive rights are being protected. That's my main reason of voting.
Like I said, it's been disappointing talking to some people who are like, oh, I missed the deadline. Whoops. It's like, do you not care? But most of the people I've spoken to really do care deeply and made it a top priority to ensure that they voted. I know people who had their parents bring absentee ballots over Parents' Weekend in September. I feel like it's on the forefront of many people's minds.
Many of the students in line said they were registering to vote today. Same-day registration is available at voting sites today or online at vote.org. Instructions on how to submit a ballot are posted both inside and outside the polling location. The number of Americans who cast their ballots has increased during the last few election cycles. In 2020, nearly 66% of the U.S. population voted. In 2016, it was 59%, and back in 2012, voter turnout was 58%.
Election officials have not confirmed any instances of fraud. Still, Los Angeles County is taking precautionary measures. Ballots are processed at a very secure facility. Examples of security measures taken include 24/7 on-site guards, 200 security cameras on the completely fenced premises, access control on all doors and vehicle gates, as well as a partnership with the Sheriff's Department and local law enforcement. Counting ballots does not end on election night. Polls will close in California by 8 p.m. tonight. All mail-in ballots cast by today and received within 7 days will be counted.
Officials are preparing for a potentially messy post-election period. Assistant Chief David Carlisle spoke to us about what DPS is doing to keep the campus safe from any violence.
and here at DPS, we're fully staffed. We have additional officers that we've brought in for the day, working late tonight, pending the end of the election. Sort of waiting in the wings, out of sight, but available should we need them. But the bottom line is we don't have any current threats.
While emotions about this election run high, the voting process has been calm and civil around campus. We asked students whether they felt safe voting.
There wasn't really much security, but it was because it's in kind of like a recreation center, and I grew up around here. It's kind of a safe place.
It goes through with signs, and I know only signs can do so much, but maybe if there's a presence there, that could at least give some people who are like me a peace of mind.
DPS says students should feel secure on campus with tight security in place after the demonstrations last spring.
It may be election day, but it's not clear when we will know who will be our 47th president. Reporter Dahlia joins us at the politics desk with more.
Thanks for that, Kofo. Different states have different voting rules. States like Arizona and Nevada allow for votes to be counted ahead of Election Day, but crucial battleground states like Pennsylvania don't start counting any of the ballots until the polls close. Voting hours were extended in some counties in both Pennsylvania and Georgia polls. Here on the West Coast, California, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington, they don't close until around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. To take you back in time, back in 2020, it took about 4 days for President Joe Biden to be declared the winner in the race against Donald Trump. In 2000, it took 35 days for George Bush Jr.'s victory over Al Gore to be called. We asked students what they thought of a long wait for a winner to be declared.
Definitely makes me more anxious, just sort of like thinking about like what's happening in that time, and also just I think with this election especially, it's very anxiety inducing, so it's the kind of thing where you want to find out as soon as possible.
I think I'd prefer it to be quicker, but when it is slower, it does make me feel like they're actually doing the work. And so I trust that a little more.
In 2020, only about 54% of votes were counted by the end of Election Day, and there was still no clear winner. In the meantime, there's still about a couple hours left for you to cast your ballot here in California.
Thanks, Dahlia. All through this historic presidential race, there have been anxious moments. Stress isn't just reserved for the candidates. Voters are feeling it too, even here at USC. The students we talked to at the USC Village polling place expressed a mix of emotions.
A lot of us are anxious about who's going to be president. I'm personally very anxious because I'm very an advocate to putting your ballot in and vocalizing your opinion, and I'm very nervous as to how this outcome may be, considering how various people are reacting to Kamala Harris and also for Donald Trump. So
it changes every minute. It's like sometimes I feel good. I feel like everything's going to be all right. Generally, I think I don't have major anxiety about what's going to happen on the other side.
For many people, election season is filled with anxiety. Chief Campus Health Officer Dr. Sarah Van Orman has advice to help reduce your stress.
I think people care deeply, deeply about the issues at stake here. And that can be extremely anxiety producing to kind of be connected to that 24/7 news feed. So I really encourage people to feel okay about just disconnecting, particularly from the news feed when you need to. Just normal self-care things we think are really important, making sure you're sleeping, studying, exercising, doing all of those things as well.
According to a recent poll, 69% of Americans said that the 2024 presidential election was a significant source of stress in their daily lives.
For voters in swing states, this election has taken on an added importance. We talked to the editor-in-chief of the University of Georgia's newspaper about the extra pressure they face.
Having so many eyes on Georgia, and especially from a young journalist perspective, there's this pressure, right, to make sure we're getting as many young people out to vote and inform them on how they can vote, and then also to highlight how they're feeling ahead of this election, because it's one of the biggest demographics people are watching.
Students in these swing states also understand the importance of their vote and how it could impact the presidential race.
There are so many important policies on the line that I knew that I had to vote, especially here in Georgia. Sometimes people are like, it's not even my vote that determines it. They don't recognize how every single vote counts.
I definitely think that being in a swing state has made me more motivated to go out and vote and more motivated to get my peers to go out and vote. One individual is not going to change the course of the election. But when it comes down to being in a swing state, it's so much more important, because if you get yourself to vote and you get 3 or 4 friends to vote who all get those 3 or 4 friends to vote, you can actually have a really big impact.
Political coverage, make sure to scan the QR code on your screen and tune in to America's Choice, Annenberg Media's live streaming election special at 7:30 tonight. We'll be following races here in California and across the country.
Social media has played a big role in this year's election. Students talk about how they think it's affected political views.
A 7-week labor strike has finally ended. We'll show you the details of a new contract for Boeing workers.
And powerful winds now pose a fire danger in some areas of Southern California. The latest red flag warning just ahead.
Let me tell you how we amplify our Latina voices. Check out Dímelo. We have it all. Deportes.
Entertainment. Noticias. ¿Qué tal? Soy Mariela Gómez y bienvenidos a Dime la Hora. Radio and Podcasting. Comida y cultura. Digital social media.
¿A qué equipo le vas tú? LA Galaxy o LAFC? Dímelo is the only Latina-focused media outlet at USC. Dímelo, we have it all.
Dímelo, we have it all.
Next to my big friend, I love the big taste of chocolate in this little Hershey's kiss.
Hershey's Kisses, the little kiss with the big taste.
This morning, Billy looked like any other boy, but as the moon rose, he turned into a werewolf. He used new Pa's Halloween makeup kits. His friends did too. Look, Mike's a vampire. Amy's a ghost. Pa's makeup is safer than masks. It never blocks vision, and it's hypoallergenic too. So watch your kids turn into the creatures they really are with new Pa's Halloween makeup kits.
Party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Social media isn't just for fun, it's changing how we vote. TikTok dances, viral trends, and funny memes, every swipe is shaping this election like never before. But is it truth or just a trend? This election, the impact of social media is bigger than ever.
I think as a whole, most Gen Z people are a lot more engaged than in the past because of TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Kamala's TikTok media team has been going crazy with the TikTok edits, and also Trump and JD have been going on different podcasts like Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn, which a normal politician during a race wouldn't usually do that.
Media users have been flooded with election content for months, consuming anything from funny memes to serious discussions. But with all the humor and creativity, it's important to note not everything trending is true.
I've seen a lot of social media posts from both sides, from Kamala's team and also Trump's team, trying to obviously market towards Gen Z voters. I think social media can be a great thing, but also definitely can spread a lot of misinformation. This is definitely the first year a lot of younger voters are engaged and invested in the election, just because we have a newer candidate who's a little younger, so it's exciting.
According to a UCLA study, social media can have a major impact on who Gen Z vote for. More than 56% of Gen Z say they keep up with the news, and many rely on TikTok.
Local transit agencies in Los Angeles are offering free rides to make voting easier this election day. The free rides are for all Metro services, including buses, trains, bikes, and the Metro Micro program in an effort to encourage voter turnout. We spoke to voters at the Amundsen Senior Center polling unit.
Oh, it means a lot. It means a lot of changes, and hopefully for the best. My niece and my daughter took the Metro. They work downtown, so I guess it must have been a lot of crowdedness downtown. So it worked out for them good because I met them and we came here to vote.
I think that it's public transportation. It should be accessible to the public. I couldn't imagine a better use of free public transportation than to go vote, because it's such an important part of just democracy.
In addition, other transportation services such as Uber, Lyft, Bird, and Lime scooters are offering free rides and massive discounts for trips to the polls.
Boeing machinists could be returning back to work as soon as Wednesday. They signed a new contract last night after a 53-day strike. The strike, which according to a research firm in Michigan, was the costliest strike in the United States in more than 25 years, had halted all deliveries on new Boeing planes. Only 59% of the union approved the new deal, but the union's president declared it a victory.
Tonight, our membership voted to accept this contract by 59%. You know, it's time for us to come together. This is a victory. This is a victory.
The agreement will give 33,000 union members a 43% raise over 4 years. It comes with a $12,000 bonus to hourly employees and increases 401k contributions. However, it does not restore pension plans, a key issue in the negotiations. The same research firm says the strike cost Boeing more than $6.5 billion and the U.S. economy more than $11 billion.
The National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning for portions of Los Angeles and Ventura counties, advising that strong Santa Ana winds may lead to deadly wildfires. The combination of cold, high winds and low humidity are a deadly combination for wildfires. Much of LA and San Bernardino County was impacted over the summer and late fall, like the Shabaram fire in Hacienda Heights last month. The warning will be in effect from Tuesday evening to as late as Thursday in some low elevation areas. I spoke to NWS LA's meteorologist in charge, Dr. Ariel Cohen, who strongly urges that preparedness is key and wildfires may just be the start to extreme winter weather.
Make sure that you are in tune with all the latest weather information, because, extreme weather is very much a common factor here. Southern California, we have a lot of very nice days, but we have some days that are extremely high impact. And this is going to be one of them coming up. And so it's just a reminder that we always have to be vigilant and be able to get the information that we need so that we're not surprised and we're not caught off guard.
The affected areas include the San Gabriel Mountains, Santa Monica Mountains, Santa Clarita Valley, Malibu Coast, Calabasas, the San Fernando Valley, and Ventura County. Residents near wildlife areas are advised to avoid starting any outdoor fires and be prepared to evacuate if a wildfire breaks out.
Now for weather, it is a clear and cool election night here in LA. Let's check in with Anasazi to see if winter is coming.
Well, I would say that winter is not coming. It is already here. My name is Anastasia Ochoa, and this is Sazi's Weather Sizzle. Let's get into it. Checking out the current temps on campus, we do have a very cool 65 degrees with 57% humidity. Again, you're going to notice that low humidity that is going to be connected to the cold Santa Ana winds that you'll be feeling. So if you are still outside waiting at the voting booths, I hope you're bundled up. Looking to the week ahead, we are going to see continuously chilly weather, no higher than 75 degrees on Wednesday, with the lows as low as 49 degrees. So it's definitely going to get chillier as the weeks progress. So stay cool, stay warm, stay bundled up, and stay safe, Trojans. Now let's head to Drew for weather, or for sports.
USC football falls in a close one against Washington, sparking questions about the starting quarterback. Could Miller Moss be on the hot seat? USC men's basketball starts the season strong with a dominant win over Chattanooga. New faces and fresh energy are taking the court under Coach Musselman. And this week's community sports spotlight is hip-hop dance group Chaotic 3. See how the group is preparing for a hellish week.
That sounded like a wolf, and it's getting closer.
Peekaboo!
Count Chocula! Did you hear a wolf?
It was Wolfie howling for the 2 new marshmallows in my Count Chocula cereal. The lovely chocolatey part of this complete breakfast.
2 new marshmallows?
Yes, the new full moon and chocolate wolf marshmallows make Count Chocula a howling delight.
For a limited time, you can try the full moon and chocolate wolf marshmallows inside new shiny boxes of Count Chocula.
Wow, Millhouse, that frozen black cherries turned your tongue black. My tongue's black too.
Let me try.
Hey,
Must have black tongue.
This Halloween, the Simpsons are at Burger King. Now in every big kid's meal you can get a Simpsons spooky light up. They gleam, there is scream, and you can collect all 15. at Burger King. Where else?
This Halloween, Blockbuster Video has a special treat for your whole family. You can take home any of these great Halloween classics for just $7.99. Or rent 2 movies and get them for $3.99. Now, if that's not a reason to scream, what is? Make it a blockbuster fright.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Drew Yuskevich.
And I'm Marissa Russ.
USC's loss to Washington 26-21 has left questions about the future of the Trojans' starting quarterback. After a tough game with key turnovers, Lincoln Riley has made the decision to start redshirt sophomore Jaden Maihava over Miller Moss. Miller Moss had a rough night, throwing for 3 interceptions despite throwing for 293 yards and 2 touchdowns. Moss's struggles in critical moments, including turnovers and a failed 4th down attempt, left USC short of a victory. Today, Riley talked about why the change was made.
I want to say, listen, Miller Moss has done a really good job for us. You could literally not change one thing that Miller's done, and we could be sitting here with a really, really good record right now. Miller has done a very good job. He's been a really good leader for this team. He's been loyal to this program. He has worked hard, and he has done a lot of really good things on the football field. So this is not a reflection of anything more than we have another good player in the room. And we feel like it gives us a good opportunity, and we felt like that this was the, when we went back and evaluated, that this was the best thing for the team, and it's really that simple.
The Trojans, now 4-5, enter a bye week before hosting Nebraska on November 16th. Now with Maihava at the forefront, USC looks to finish strong in the remaining games.
The potential solutions to USC's struggles could be Maihava, who is no stranger to being a starting quarterback or getting touchdowns as a Trojan. Maihava saw action against Rutgers, Wisconsin, and Utah State. His play against Utah State was stand out. Maihava threw a season-high 66 yards and recorded a 7-yard rushing touchdown against the Aggies. His stats at USC may be limited, but Maihava was standout as a UNLV Rebel. He set the record for most Mountain West Freshman of the Week awards with 5, as well as the 2023 Mountain West Freshman of the Year. Will Maihava be able to keep USC's hopes for a bowl game alive? Trojans fans will have to wait another week to find out after the bye.
The USC men's basketball team opened the season strong, defeating Chattanooga 77-51 at the Galen Center. It was a statement win for the Trojans under new head coach Eric Musselman. USC showed off its depth with graduate guard Shabuzo Abugo leading the team with 14 points, while Matt Nowling added 13 off the bench. The Trojans tallied 21 assists and shot 50% from the field, with Musselman emphasizing unselfish play and adaptability as keys to their success.
Told the guys, play your minutes, and that's a phrase we use. You're not playing the score, you're playing your minutes. There's no such thing as garbage time here. That's how you earn trust and opportunity to get more and have a more expanded role when you play and continue to execute the game plan regardless of score.
The Trojans will return to action on Thursday night against Idaho State. With momentum building, USC will look to continue showcasing their depth and teamwork on their home court.
Those are the sights and sounds of competitive hip-hop dance group Chaotic 3 as they prepare for what they call Hell Week. It's the week before competition. The group practices from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. every single day. Members say it's tough to balance their studies with the grueling schedule, but junior Olivia Lai says the balancing act is all worth it.
And I think what keeps me coming back, honestly, is the people and the art. Again, you're not going through this experience alone. You really bond with the team. And something that we always say is you only get to dance with this group of people now. Because every other semester, there's different people on the team, people leave, new people join. But this is the only time you get to dance this art with this specific group of people, and that's just really beautiful.
Chaotic 3 competes every semester. Anyone can audition. Having a dance background helps, but it is not required. Auditions include performing a dance sequence and interviews. Sophomore Lara Lee quit dancing at age 16. She says Chaotic 3 helped her love the sport again.
I think like even after college, I'll like look for somewhere to dance just on my own because like C3 has genuinely shown me how much I really like dance. The community that comes with the arts is so valuable, so always having that in my life is something that I'll always take away.
If you would like to help support the club or audition for the spring semester, visit their Instagram at Chaotic3 for more information on the club.
That's all the time we have for ATVN Sports. I'm Drew Yuskovich.
And I'm Marissa Russ. Now over to Kofo to hear about a new art exhibit.
A new LGBTQ exhibit is on display on campus. Stay tuned to see all that it offers.
Presenting Sheer Madness, Circuit City's Midnight Madness Sale. Wednesday only till midnight. Circuit City will go raving mad with shocking reductions on hundreds of items. Wednesday only, this Sony 19-inch color TV with remote control, just $397. Save on this JVC compact disc player, just $198. Circuit City's Midnight Madness Sale. Get there by midnight before the curtain falls.
What? There's something under the bed. I heard something. There's nothing under the bed. I heard something. See, look. It's just Fluffy. He got scared by a dumb cat. I wasn't scared. I told you there was nothing under the bed.
Gosh, Burger Chef, it's Wolfburger the werewolf.
Where can I get delicious burgers? Where can I get fun food? Where, oh where?
At Burger Chef.
Where? And now at participating Burger Chefs, you can buy fun meals that now come on Halloween magic meal trays. There's a magic trick in each fun meal. There are 10 different magic meal tricks you can collect.
Burger Chef, you're incredible.
New states have been called, so let's take a look at the updated electoral map. A reminder that each candidate needs 270 electoral votes to win. Currently, Kamala Harris has 71, while Donald Trump has 101. According to the Associated Press, former President Trump has won Florida and Indiana, while Vice President Harris has claimed Illinois and New Jersey.
Magic Queer LA, Sexual Science and the Imagination, an exhibit that explores queer history through art.
Back to the mole went Florida when she had drunk her fill of the red milk she needed to keep her devil still.
Throughout history, queer people and spaces have been othered and alienated, which led to the LGBTQ community to occupy spaces associated with science fiction and fantasy. The exhibit showcases fashion, music, film, poetry, and visual pieces created by queer artists. The secret clubs and societies that catered to these topics were taboo, making these settings a safe space for creating queer art. The Sci-Fi Magic Queer LA exhibition will be on display at the Fisher Museum of Art until November 23rd.
Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone in Annenberg Media, I'm Kofo Jalaosho.
And I'm Brian Saravia for live election coverage tonight at 7:30. Watch on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Have a good night.